Well, a former Nagaland Chief Minister S.C. Jamir's remarks on the lingering row over separate flag and constitution and accusing Naga leaders of living in the past has drawn sharp reactions from groups and organizations in the state. Well, from the Naga Students Federation to the Naga Hoho, all have taken exception to Jamir's sharp statements, which they termed perplexing and unfortunate. Well, before we take a look at the reactions, let's listen into some of the big statements made by veteran leader Jamir in an exclusive conversation with Northeast Live yesterday. Well, Jamir expressed surprise over the lingering row over the issue of separate flag and constitution, stating that there is no mention of it either in the framework agreement or the preamble or agreed position, and that no nation would allow room for extra sovereignty, which a separate flag and constitution bring to the table. Listen in.
Separate constitution and separate flag. These are attributes of a sovereign nation. In the official document signed by both the groups, neither sovereignty nor integration appear. That means, very wisely, through their political wisdom, they also have recognized, they call it contemporary political realities. But after this, second, they are time and again they are raising this issue, which I don't understand. In Constitution of India, sharing of sovereignty cannot be done.
Well, Jamir was also against giving undue stress to the term uniqueness of Naga history, which he said was first given recognition to by late former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee during a visit to Kohima close to 2 decades ago.
After signing all this, almost at all occasions, people are talking about the past. They talk about the uniqueness of Naga history. I don't know what kind of uniqueness they are talking about. But may I enlighten you? It is only when Vajpayee, as Prime Minister, visited Kohima, in a press conference, he said, we also recognize the uniqueness of Naga history. And obviously, the Prime Minister of a country will never speak about something which is outside the Constitution nor Indian sovereignty.
And most significantly, Jamir accused the current crop of Naga leaders of living in the past, thus blocking their vision of the future.
The conundrum of the present Naga polity is that we are living in the past. And any group or any community that live on the past will find it difficult to look forward.
Well, those were some real strong statements made by the former Nagaland Chief Minister during an exclusive interview with Northeast Live, and clearly not many groups and organizations seem pleased with the remarks. And meanwhile, reacting to Jamir's statements, NSF President K. Tep has said that the Federation is perplexed with the remarks made by one of the tallest leaders of the state. And meanwhile, countering Jamir's statement, the NSF president said that there can be no future without the past. He added that nowhere in the framework agreement was it written that the solution has to be within Indian constitution. Listen in.
The Naga Students Federation is perplexed by the statement made by one of our tallest leader, Dr. S.C. Jamir, in his recent interview with the Northeast Live. We want to know that can there be a future without the past? What does he mean by living in the past? Does succumbing to the contemporary political reality without taking forth the past means justice to him. What about the bloodsheds and the other injustices made towards our people? Can he kindly point out where in FA and agreed position that the political solution should be or will be within the Constitution of India? The stand of the Naga Students Federation is crystal clear that the solution should be mutually agreed upon on the negotiating table and should be inclusive, honorable and acceptable to the Naga people.
Meanwhile, without naming anyone, Naga Hoho General Secretary Lundang took an indirect dig at Jamir, stating that the blunders of some past leaders had led to the current situation.
Today, the present generation is suffering. The present generation is in a chaos. Why? Because the elders at that point of time have committed certain blunders, and therefore the Naga society is not being able to progress. As such, the present generation is in search of a lasting peace, a lasting political settlement, so that we progress together with the rest of the world.
And reacting to Jamir's statement that there can be no room for extra sovereignty, Ndang claimed that shared sovereignty can be worked out within the framework agreement.
It is understood that the framework agreement have clearly mentioned about shared sovereignty. And it is also understood that it would be discussed and it will be worked out in the competencies. I am not a privy to the negotiation, but we believe that the negotiators will bring about the best for the Naga people. The past have taught us that several instances that has failed. But in this generation, we believe that the best would emerge out of this negotiation.
So viewers, former Nagaland Chief Minister S.C. Jamir's remarks on the lingering row over separate flag and constitution and accusing Naga leaders of living in the past has drawn sharp reactions, as you've already heard, from groups and organizations in the state. And from the Naga Students Federation to the Naga Hoho, all have taken exception to Jamir's sharp statements, which they termed perplexing and unfortunate.